Hey everybody, so today we're going to cover Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu white to blue belt 15 to 18. So we're going to do two different sections, okay? So the first one we're going to do, the first section is standing guard passes. So in BTT for our closed guard, we're standing passers. So the first thing we do is I make sure, see how my shoelaces are on the ground here, I get up. Now I start doing my techniques. I'm right-handed, so I'll do everything like that. So I grab the sleeve. I like turning the sleeve inside out. I put my elbow inside of her thigh. I'm gonna grab her belt. I'm gonna move her hand above a little bit so she can't grab me with that hand. The only thing she could possibly do is grab my sleeve with that one, but we'll deal with that another time. So I move it up a little bit. I stand up on my right leg. So that's my balance step. Then what I'm gonna do is I take my left step. I'm gonna put a lot of weight into her chest. And I'm going to stand up a squat. I bring her in. I posture. I keep my elbow in so she can't submit me. I grab the inside of her pants. I'm going to do two. I'm going to do a dead arm as I step back with my left leg. Here, push down. Her guard opens. Now what happens? I keep the grip. I'm going to slide my leg over. I'll do this in this direction and the other direction so you can see after. But I go here, knee on the ground, toes on the ground. Now from here, I'm going to cross face and extend this arm at the same time. So now from here, I have to, if I just take this foot off, she's gonna close her half guard. See that? So now what I have to do is I have to step over with this leg first. So I step over, then I take my leg out, bring my right knee to her hip. So I'm in 100 kilos for just a second, and then I'm gonna switch. Keeping this arm out the whole time, because this is gi. If I go for an underhook here, she's just gonna grab my jacket, my face, whatever, and I don't want that. Because we have the handle, we're going to use it. So I bring it all the way out with my cross face, and then I stop here. And that's our full technique. So bring it from this side. So close guard, up on my toes. I'm right-handed, so I go for the grab. And then I curl it in, put it above her belt. I grab her belt, elbows in. Stand up on my right leg, get a good balance. As I'm standing up on my left leg, I'm gonna put my weight into her body. I'm gonna bring her into me. I bring my elbow in super tight. I grab the inside of her knee on this side. I step back my left leg, balance this side. So now she falls. I put my knee on the ground and my toes are on the ground. So now I was talking about earlier, I get a cross face and I extend at the same time. Keep my head real low. Now I take my right leg, I step past my left leg. Now I can move my left leg off the thigh, right knee to the hip. And now from here, I pull her up a little bit, like this. I'm gonna slide my right knee into her armpit. So now I can complete my technique and I complete my pass. We'll do just one more time on this side. So that's our standing guard pass number one. Now we're going to show the variation. It's called stacking. So stacking is a continuation of the last one, meaning, so some people are a little bit taller, so they can keep their guard shut a lot longer. So I do the exact same opening. I grab with I get off my toes, I move the hand, I grab the belt, I step with my right leg, stand up with my left leg. I bring her in, bring my elbow inside. Now, I can't open the guard. I just can't do it. So now what? I'm gonna move her body. So I can't do that. So now my elbow's in here still. I'm gonna reach between that space. I'm gonna pop it. Now, from here, I gotta keep this on my shoulder and my elbow in. If my elbow's not in, she's gonna triangle choke me. So I gotta keep my elbow in here, and I'm gonna grab her far collar, put my knee on the ground. Now watch the secret. See her bum's close to the ground because she's wanting me to fall. I bring my knee underneath and I walk my foot over until her bum's over her head. Take my right hand, come over, look up, get my pass, get 100 kilos. And And that's my technique right there. So we're gonna do it from a couple different directions so you can see everything. We just went that way. We'll do it every direction. So stand up. I can't pass, I just can't do it. So I reach behind, pop. Now as I pop, my elbow has to connect to my hip. I keep this on my shoulder. So now there's no triangle, no omoplata, so I don't have to worry about that. So now I take my thumb, I go in the far collar. I put a lot of pressure on her neck. I drop my knee close to the head as possible. Now see this? I always like bringing her knee into her face too, make it really uncomfortable. Same thing we talked about, I bring my knee under her butt, I walk my toes under, and now I grab her butt, I look up to get the pass, nice and slow. I finish my 100 kilos, and that's my technique right there. So we'll do it in this direction. And those are our standing guard pass and our variation if you can't open the guard. Thank you. Our next technique is from white to blue, technique number 17, clock choke. So she's gonna go on all fours. Let's start her elbow. So it's a really, really powerful choke. It's just a little setup you need. I like taking my right knee, I like putting it above her left knee, so it's kind of inside her body a little bit like that. Some people I see try to do it too far out. I also sometimes like going in, but then the counter, you're too susceptible to counter. So just keeping on the outside a little bit. I like standing up on my left leg. Now I'm gonna get her to go up on her hands at first so I can show the technique. So I'm gonna take my far hand first. I'm gonna go inside of the armpit. I'm gonna find the first lapel. I'm gonna open it up. Now from here I take my thumb, I go inside, and I go as high as I can. You can start slow and like kind of inch yourself up, but after a while you can just get the proper spot right away. So I curl it. Now I'm gonna go back to your elbows. I take my right hand and I go to the second lapel. So I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna kind of and I grab it real tight, I'm gonna bring my knuckles to the ground. So my left hand is gonna pull across her throat, my right hand is gonna punch towards the ground. So now my next thing is I have to be able to touch my head to the ground. So I take my body, I take it from the middle of her back and I put it on the top of her neck. I put my head on the ground. And now what happens, I'm gonna start walking out. I'm gonna switch my hips and I get the tap. On this side. So I bring my knee inside the line a little bit. I stand up on my right leg. I'm gonna go into our far armpit. I find the first lapel, I open it up. My right hand goes inside thumb first. Feed it nice and tight. My left hand switches from the first lapel to the second lapel. And it's to start punching towards the ground. My right arm is gonna pull across her neck. I take my weight, instead of bringing it on her back, I put it on top of her neck. That makes it easy for me to put my head on the ground. I get up off my knees and I walk and I switch my hips. We'll do it one more time. And that technique is our clock choke from white to blue. Thank you. Next technique from white to blue belt is technique 18, the butterfly guard pass, and 2 variations. So in Brazilian top team, we teach the passes first, then the sweep. So we won't go into too much detail of what she's gonna do. So she's gonna be on her bottom and her feet are inside of my legs here. I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna take a right underhook and a left overhook. That means going over elbow, and right underhook means going under her armpit. And I like grabbing the logo on the back, so that's when I know I have it good. So first thing I'm gonna do before she tries to sweep me is I'm gonna step back with my right leg, just enough for her foot to fling out when I turn her. So I'm gonna push her back a little bit on her bottom. I step back with my right knee. I'm gonna push until she slides out. And I go into side control variation. I'm just gonna move for the camera. So I spread my legs, I have her elbow, far side underhook. We covered this, this is technique 2 from white belt, the side control variation. So we just stop here for the technique, okay? We'll do it on this side. So again, I right underhook, left overhook. I load her up, I grab her low, go over back, I step back with my right knee. I'm gonna push and pull. She slides out, I'm gonna switch my hips. Nice and low, keep my head nice and low, and I have the nice underhook, overhook, and I hold. Okay, so now what happens is, we have that technique. I'm not doing anything different. My opponent, she does something different every time for the next 2 variations. So now when I do the pass, she's gonna trap me in half guard. So I'm going for the exact same pass. So you won't be able to see it till the other side, but now as I'm rotating, she slides her leg through, and now I'm trapped in a half guard. So my right leg is stuck, and I have a right underhook. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my head on the ground, I'm gonna do a half guard pass. We learned that a little bit later, so I won't go into too much detail, but I'll show you. So I go here, I get up off my knees, I walk my toes towards her bottom. I'm gonna slide my knee towards her knee, and I get my pass. And I finish in the exact same spot. Technique number 2, side control variation. Keep it low. So again, on the other side. So I go for technique number 1, she slides, now I'm in half guard. So now I take my head, I get off my knees, I walk my toes towards her bottom, and I'm gonna spring my right knee towards her knee. Touch the ground, slide out, get my underhook, and finish in side control variation. So now our third one. So this is a little, you have to think what this is. So she's trying to give me a butterfly sweep. I'm gonna give her the first pass. Last ditch effort, she's gonna try sweeping with her wrong foot in the other direction. And I'm gonna do a jump over. So nice and slow. I'm going for technique 1. So now she starts, last ditch effort, she's gonna try to lift this leg up. Good, go back there. So and normally she'd be trying to sweep me in that direction. But because I'm turning her body, she feels like she might have something here, okay? So I start going turn, she starts lifting me up. I put my head on the ground, I get up off my toe, my hands on the ground, I hop over the hook, I sit out, and I finish again in side control variation. Same exact spot right here, okay? And we finish right there. So those are standard butterfly guard pass and our 2 variations, technique number 18 from white to blue.